Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Miami Comedy Podcast. I'm Manny Garavito, your host, and today we're going to be discussing where to take someone on the first date if they are brand new to Miami. That's right, the people here in Miami, we are being bombarded by outsiders. They're coming into our cities, they're raising our rents, they're raising our housing prices, and now they're taking all our date options. Hey, you know, it's not so bad to go out there and date somebody that's not Latino, right? Just remind yourself why you date Latino people in the first place. Sometimes you need a reminder. You know, you go on a date with a Latina, you're like, oh my God, this girl's such a headache. Then you date a girl from Arkansas and you're just like, hey, you know what? I miss my Latina queen. All right, so in this episode, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've learned when it comes to going on the first date, particularly when you meet somebody that is from out of town. How do you do it? Well, the first thing that we got to get out of the way is, are they going to treat you like you're a tour guide? Some of these people are a little slick because they want to go out with you not only for a date, but they want you to show them around. Well, then you pay for the date. At least split the bill. You're giving me two jobs. I got to entertain you as your date, and then I got to explain to you the area and the history and try to impress you like that. At least give a tip. Keep in mind that when someone is new to Miami, the way you show them around is the way they're going to remember you. So let's say, for example, this particular person just arrived to Miami. He or she goes on the dating apps, starts finding people. They go out on dates. What do you want to do? Oh, there's this place I want to show you, all that stuff. And what you guys end up doing goes into your personality and your character and what they remember from you. I can't believe it. Some guy took me to a place called Flanagan's, which, by the way, is a great place to go out on a date. You take her out to a Flanagan's, and then you work your way up from there. I was speaking to people over on the chat. They were saying things like, oh, you got to take her to a fancy hotel. You got to take her out to a nice fancy restaurant. And then what are you going to do if there's a second date? You can never go back down from that. All right, if you're popping bottles over at Club 11 on the first date, what are you going to do on the second date? You can never buy a bottle from a 7-Eleven ever again. You blew out that option as soon as you said, let's go get bottles on the first date. It's over. If you, on the first date, you get a Uber XL, you can never get regular Ubers after that. She'll think you're down bad or something. It's like, what happened? We used to go to really nice places. Now what? I'm just comfortable around you. I would recommend the first date option. You take her out to a Flanagan's because she's never been to that before, right? It's only in South Florida. If she's coming from another state to Miami, you take her to a Flanagan's, you're like, oh yeah, this is the most popular restaurant in Miami, which is somewhat true. What's great about Flanagan's being, you know, the first date option is it's considered a wholesome family restaurant. But people are blacking out at the bar at the same time. So it's like just the right amount of wholesome and grimy. What you order from that menu, for those that don't know, Flanagan's has these amazing, you know, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I want to get that out of the way. I just want to say why this is a good place for a first date. Because if you order a pitcher of beer, you then get something else. If it's an off night, you get like free nachos or free wings just for ordering a pitcher. How does she react to that? That's a great way to read a character. How does she react to you getting free nachos because you got a pitcher of beer? Is she going to go back to her friends and talk shit about you? Oh my God, girl, can you believe that this guy bought a pitcher of beer because he wanted free nachos? Oh, never again. Or is she going to go back to her girlfriends and be like, girl, this guy I met in Miami, he really knows his way around. He ordered a pitcher of beer and they brought out free chicken wings for us. It was like he was VIP. I'm definitely seeing him again. And if you meet a girl that gives you props for knowing something like that, that's a keeper. That's a keeper right there. You know what's a good place to have a first date? Right before you even get to the restaurant or the bar or wherever you're going, getting stuck in traffic together. That's right. Believe it or not, the people outside of Miami don't know how bad it is. They always try to say things like, oh, I'm from New York. It's nothing like New York traffic. Oh, I'm from LA. It's nothing like LA traffic. Well, Miami traffic is completely different because not only are we at a standstill, but it's also like a nightclub during the traffic jam because there's always someone jamming out in a loud car, playing reggaeton. You might as well have a picnic while you're stuck in traffic. Because when you're stuck in a car with someone for a prolonged period of time, the conversation or the music is the deal breaker. Give her the aux cord and just see what she plays. Go ahead, play me a little something from Arkansas. What the hell is that? And then you introduce her to things like Bad Bunny and Pitbull. And then right there, you guys are vibing off the music. And if she says she doesn't like music like that, just end it right there, bro. It ain't gonna work out. You gotta like Bad Bunny and Pitbull if you're coming and living into Miami. All right, especially if you want to be my woman. Where's your reggaeton playlist? What do you mean you don't have one? There's some people that prefer going to something a little more simple. Some people prefer going, something simple like a coffee date. Hey, let's go out and grab a cup of coffee together. Well, you got to do this very carefully because you need to understand that coffee outside of Miami is subpar. They're just getting by. If you take her out to coffee on the first date in Miami, you're going to ruin her preference for coffee for the rest of her life. Once she gets a taste of that colada, once she gets a taste of that cortadito with the perfect foam on top, with the right amount of sugar, with that spike craze that, if you do this enough, diabetes is right around the corner, but it's so good, you're willing to take the risk. Once she takes a taste of that, she'll feel like she's been lied to her whole life when it comes to caffeine. Starbucks will no longer be something to get whenever she needs a coffee run. You will ruin Starbucks for that woman. She'll be on her phone the entire date, not texting someone, but canceling her Starbucks membership after she takes a sip of that coffee from Miami. I'm telling you, you got to be very careful. You think it's innocent, but you're going to ruin someone's caffeine life. Forget the Starbucks mermaid. A Latina grandma will be the new logo for the greatest coffee in the world. I don't need to walk into a Starbucks and see like all the people harvesting the coffee beans or a bird watching over them as they're picking up the beans from the plant. Or they don't need that. I just need a photo of an abuela making colada, and I already know that coffee is going to be amazing. Show me a photo of her stirring it up, making the foam and sugar just right. That's good coffee right there. So you got to be careful. If you do a coffee date as your first date, just know that you're going to be unveiling a world to that poor woman, and she probably won't even see it coming. And then, if all else fails, you can always just take her out to a nightclub. But here's the thing. You got to be careful when you take them out to a nightclub because you're going to be also exposing them to a world as to why Miami's nightlife is so good. And then she's going to start seeing her options. You might start seeing your options. I don't understand how people that are married or are in a relationship can go to a nightclub together. It's like, what are you doing? You're going to see other options. Everyone's getting blacked out drunk around you. And financially speaking, if you both order bottles, what about the house payment? It ain't going to work out. But here's what you do. If you do decide to take somebody out to a nightclub, are you going to be the type of person that would get a bottle right off the bat? Because if you do, you got to make sure you get your money's worth. Don't get a bottle just to impress your first date. I did that before. I'll tell you a little story. I was on a first date with someone that just moved to Miami. Beautiful girl. Surprised by how great our nightlife options are. She saw the nightlife. She was like, back home, they don't have any nightclubs like this. So now she's getting excited because of how wild it was getting. They have half-off bottles. It was an off night. And we go get bottles. And then as the bottles were coming out, it was like fast. Usually people spend a lot of money buying bottles to show off to someone, or let alone the whole club. It's like, hey, this person right here did a very big financial mistake. That's what I saw when those little sparklers came out. But then as soon as they opened the door, they got right to my table, and it was just like, it was quick. I almost was going to stand up and be like, hey, no, go do another lap and come back around because I need those sparklers on a little longer. If I'm paying X amount of dollars for that, if that thing costs me rent, give me at least 1 minute walk. No way this is going to be a 10-second thing. Give me the sparklers. I'll do it myself. You start raving, dancing with the sparklers. You got to get your money's worth. And if all else fails, ladies and gentlemen, if all else fails, take her out to a bar. That is always the go-to. Take her out to a bar, but don't go at night. Go during the daytime and get daytime drunk. And if the date is going good, you can then move on to the next event.